Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We're here today on episode 2448 of the Cabral Concept. All the show notes, all the research, and there will be quite a bit of research, will be at stephencabral.com/2448, dedicated to bringing you an unbiased perspective on all things natural health and healing. That goes for mind and body. So what I want to go over today are the many benefits of contrast showers. You could be someone that's doing maybe cold plunges or cold baths or whatever it might be. And again, I have a bunch of shows on cold therapy, who it's best for, who it's not good for, and I'll try to link those up today as well at stephencabral.com/2448 if you want to head on over, because I've done a bunch of shows that are basically, they're contraindicating cold for some people. Now, again, it's not for all people, of course, like meaning it's good for the majority of people, but we also have to know that just like an herb or a food or a type of exercise, that it's just not great for everyone. But for the majority of people, yes, it can be fantastic for. And I'm actually going to give you a very simple way to begin to use contrast showers, and of course what they are, so that you can start it right away. All right, so here are the benefits though, and then once you know the benefits, you can say, okay, yes, this is for me, or no, it's not right for me, or maybe though it's right for someone else, especially if you're a practitioner. All right, so this goes back about 7 years where there started to be quite a bit of research on cold-based therapy. And so here was the outcome of the study. One of the biggest things that they found was that it was an increase in natural killer cells. That's basically immune strength, immune resilience to go after things that shouldn't be there in the body, like cancer cells, for one. But besides the improved immune response, there was actually a boost in mood, a boost in energy, a boost in focus and concentration. There was a boost, believe it or not, in metabolism and fat burning, and we'll get to that a bit. And I also have why don't I link up a podcast on white and brown fat, and how cold helps convert that to a more fat-burning, caloric-burning fat. And there was an overall reduction in healthy levels of inflammation, swelling, and muscle soreness or pain. So if you're dealing with muscle soreness, pain, inflammation, brain fog, low energy, low mood, and one I forgot to share with you is an improvement in sleep as well. So immunity, sleep, mood, all these fantastic things that I think, to be honest, most of us would like a little bit more of, right? So here is why it works. All right, so a contrast shower is you getting under the hot water. I'm going to share with you exactly how hot it has to be because, in our Western-based mindset, we want things either scalding, like super scalding, or absolutely freezing, like below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right? But the truth is that it doesn't have to be that way. And the research actually has proved this out. So don't think you can't get benefit without getting in 30-degree water. You can, right? I've talked about this many times. There's really not a need to do that necessarily. And certainly I don't recommend starting out because I think it is way too much stress hormones being produced. So before you get into cold plunges, I'll be recommending the cold plunge that I use in the future. So stay tuned for that. I'm just going through a lot more research as to which product I want to recommend to you, because every product that I recommend to you, I take very seriously. I really do. And yes, it has to be a phenomenal product. It has to be one, though, that you're also going to stick with, that you don't just invest in it and then never use it. And then I also want it to be really good customer service and a great experience for the end user. And so since these aren't companies that I run and have anything to do with, I just want to make sure I always give you the best recommendation. So stay tuned for that in the future. Okay, so contrast showers, though, it's completely free, right? If you're taking a shower, you can do this. Now, typically you're going to get into a warm shower, as hot as that you can stand. But again, don't burn yourself. Here's the actual temperature. All right. So this is from the studies, and it was 95 degrees to 113 degrees. That was the shower. Now, again, like that's a hot shower. So that's all you really have to worry about. Like it's a hot shower that's producing some type of steam if the door is closed, right? So that's what you're looking at that. You're going to be in that for about 3 minutes to maybe 5 minutes to get your body warmed up. What's happening when you're getting the hot water in your body? Think about this. And then I'll share with you exactly how I do it as well. All right, so you've got hot water hitting your body and all around. What it's doing is something called vasodilation. It is helping your blood vessels to open up. It's helping for circulation. It's moving the blood all around the body. It's taking the heat from your core and bringing it up to your skin. It's dilating everything. So you get this great enhancement in blood flow. It can actually start to calm the sympathetic nervous system. It can start to calm your heart rate if you're doing the breath work and just relaxing your body into it. So really fantastic. And that's why, of course, there's a lot of benefits to sauna and heat in general, okay? So that's the heat part. Then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the shower down to cold. How cold? Remember, it does not need to be freezing, okay? In the studies, 50 to 59 degrees. So that's the cold temperature. Now that's 10 to 15 degrees Celsius for all of our friends overseas. And the hot was 35 to 45 degrees Celsius. Now, this is where we have to be a little bit more particular because cold is going to stimulate the nervous system. This is when it's most important not to just go and shock your system, but to actually go and relax into it. It's the difference between breath in versus calm breath out. I'll teach more about that when I talk about the cold plunge when it's even more important. Now, the goal is to get as much of your body under that cold water as possible. So that's the difference. Like doing a contrast shower is better to start with doing a cold plunge. And the reason is that it's not as shocking to the system because you're just getting the droplets hitting your body. You're not completely immersed in it. So the benefit isn't as great, but also it's not as shocking to the body. So here's my recommendation. Start out at 15 seconds, letting it hit the whole back of your body, from the neck down all the way to your legs, all right? It's a little less shocking on the back of the body, I find, than on the front of the body. So on the back of your body, you're letting that cold go down for 15 seconds. Do you have to bring a stopwatch in? No, you don't have to bring a stopwatch in. You can just count to 15. So as you're working your breath, you just 1, 2, 3, and you can just do it like that, or 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Focus on the breath and just what's happening now. Okay, now we get the vasoconstriction. So now all of this cold is touching your body. The proprioceptors on the outside of your body are telling your nervous system and then your brain what to do. Oh, it's now constrict. Instead of dilate, constrict. Blood flow constricts. What happens? Blood flow is pulled deeper into the body. Heat is kept further and deeper into the body. This is one of the reasons why it can help with immune function so well. I mean, you want that heat pulled into the core, all right? So really, really important. All right, so we're gonna do that for 15 seconds. Now, what I recommend is doing, you did your, let's just say 3 minutes to start, or here's what I do. I take my normal shower. I'll shampoo my hair, I'll condition my hair, wash my body, and that's basically the 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. So I'm under the hot water, 3 to 5 minutes, good. Okay, now I'm gonna end my shower with 3 to 5 rounds of hot cold. So now I'm just gonna say, okay, can I go any hotter? Because I don't wanna get hot water on my hair, my head. It's not good for your hair. And then I put it all over my body. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do, that's 1 minute. Now for 15 seconds, this is if you're just starting out, 15 seconds of cold down your back. You're certain welcome to kind of turn around in the cold water. That's great too, okay? So 15 seconds of cold, then turn it back to hot. Just make sure you know what the heat gauge is that you should put it to so you don't totally burn yourself, right? Just put it back to the same spot each time. Okay, so now you're under the heat for 1 minute, okay? Now you can go up to 3 minutes, but I like to do mine a little faster, all right? Because I don't like to be in the shower all morning. So then I'm putting it up to 1 minute. Great. So then after 1 minute, I go down to what? 15 seconds, all right? Then after 15 seconds, back up to 1 minute of heat, and then back down to 15 seconds of cold. You can keep it there. That can be your third round. end the shower on cold if you are someone that wants to boost mood, focus, energy. All right. So I'm telling you to end the shower on cold if you are someone that wants to be stimulated and boost mood, energy, focus. But if you're someone that's already geared up, like myself, if you're someone like me that's already good to go in the morning with, dopamine and norepinephrine, end it on heat. Now, I know most experts aren't going to tell you to do that, but here's why. It then calms the nervous system so you can relax into it. I don't need any more go in the morning. So I can end on calm. So you get to choose, right? There's bio-individuality to this. You choose how you want to end. Mood, energy, stimulation. If you're trying to fight low energy, low mood, depression, etc., brain fog, yeah, you're going to end on cold. No doubt about it. But if you're someone who doesn't experience those things and you then want to actually calm your nervous system because you might have a busy day, et cetera, good. Then you're going to end on heat. All right. So you'll do that for a week. And if you feel yourself good to go at 15 seconds, you'll know. Then you're just going to go to 30 seconds the next week. And the week after, 45 seconds, and you can work your way up to cold. This is the cold temperature to a minute. So eventually it might be 1 minute on heat, 1 minute cold, 1 minute heat, 1 minute cold. And you'll do that for 3 to 5 rounds. Now, again, once you're doing that, that starts to add up, right? Because every round is a minute. So if you're doing 5 rounds, you're at what? 10 minutes. So it's like your regular shower. Maybe you can do that in 3 minutes or so. I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. So your shower could be 10 to 15 minutes total, right? So that's how I look at it. And again, it's an easy way to do it. If you're just starting out, you're like, it's just too stimulating. Just turn the cold to whatever you feel comfortable with. Honestly, it's not a competition. You're probably the only one in the shower. And so you're not competing, right? It's just you. You're good to go. So whatever feels good for you, or just let it run over your legs. And that's less stimulating than the upper body. There's just less, it's just, when you look at it in terms of Marmor points, and you look at it in terms of, Marmor points is the best way to look at it because the acupuncture and acupressure points it's not exactly the same philosophy, but very, very close. You'll just notice that even in acupuncture, about a thumb width off of the spine is where a lot of these nerves are being innervated. So anyway, I'm going too deep down the rabbit hole. Less so on the legs. So there we go. So that is what I'm recommending. And then what you want to do is be able to keep these results going. So what I mean by that is this. There does not have to be a point where you go longer than 1 minute in the shower. So once you're eventually at 1 minute of heat, now some people go 2 to 3 minutes of heat, so I'm not against that. 2 to 3 minutes of heat and then 1 minute of cold once they get up to that area or that level. But here's the problem. Then it ends up being 4 minutes per round. So 4 minutes times 3 rounds or 5 rounds, you're at a 20-minute shower, right? And that's on top of not even doing your regular shower. I just think that that's a lot of time in the water. It's kind of a lot of wasted water, but that's just me. But you're welcome to do that as well because a lot of people do 2 to 3 minutes of heat and then 1 minute of cold. My recommendation is this. Once you get to 1 to 2 minutes of heat and 1 minute of cold, you're simply going to go as cold as you can for that minute. You're just going to turn that shower all the way down because you're just going to work down to that. So that's the goal. Now, after that, once you're good to go for the hot and cold contrast showers, that's when you may want to take things to the next level and do sauna for 15 to 20 minutes, then cold plunge, and you might only do 1 round. Now, I'll talk about doing multiple rounds in the sauna and the cold plunge, but again, I want you to work up to that because too many people take it too fast, and there's a lot going on in your body when you go hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. It changes your heart rate, it changes, everything from kidney function, et cetera. And again, it's not dramatic, I'm not saying that, but it does change. Now, the last point I wanted to give you, and this is a really big takeaway, is that if you're someone who's dealing with swelling and inflammation and edema, it is incredible for the lymphatic system. Dry brushing, again, is amazing. I'm not saying that. Manual lymphatic drainage is amazing. Love all of those things. Rebounding. But if you're getting hot, cold, it is moving that lymphatic system as well. So you get the lymph moving through your body. I mean, it is it's like a high pressure massage when you're doing this because it's literally stimulating the entire body. So really great. Overall, my only recommendation, again, is that you start slow. If you're someone dealing with chronic fatigue, adrenal-based issues, high anxiety, high stress, just be careful with the cold part. That's all. It's not that you can't get benefit. It's just that it's very stimulated. And if you're already stimulated and you add more stimulation, it just leads to greater stress. And again, this is what most people don't tell you. They tell you all the benefits, but they don't tell you the potential downsides. Everything has downsides, right? The best and healthiest foods in the world, some of them have downsides. Now, it's only when it's overdone or if it's for the wrong person. So that's what we want to look at. But again, this is the easiest, cheapest, best way to get started with hot and cold contrast therapy. And I'm a huge advocate of it. In the future, I will absolutely talk more about it in terms of using the sauna and using the cold plunge. And I'll give you my recommendations, of course, as well. Hopefully this has been helpful. As always, if it has, please do feel free to share it with anybody you believe it could serve. Take care. Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or imbalanced in only 2 ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to stephencabral.com/rainbarrel.